Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed in now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. We just finished Andor. It's time to party. That makes this the Andor after party, baby. Episode 11, Daughter of Ferrix. Written by Toby Haynes, directed by Benjamin Caron. And fuck.
Fuck indeed.
This one got me. It got me good. You know, I cried 2 times. I cried 2 times, and both times pertaining to Marva. Didn't want to lose my lady love there. But you know, like, and that's what was crazy about it. You know, it was crazy. But I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie. What's up?
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. I got too excited. I was ready to talk about it. I needed to do some.
The show's too good, man. It's too good.
It's too good. It got me a couple times, and you know, one thing that we've talked about a couple times over the course of the weeks is Marva's inevitable death. Something that was definitely coming. And, you know, we talked about how 7 was written and directed by the same guys this one, Benjamin Caron and Toby Haynes. And that was the last time we saw Marva and her being like, no, I have to stay, you have to go. So it is a little bit of that separated arc, which I think is really cool. I like that we pulled that off there. But
I think a cool way to know the arcs as well as the intro music. I didn't know this, but like they add instruments to the intro music every next episode of the arc, and it changes. Like at the start of a new arc, it'll be like a new instrument to start, and it'll just be one lone instrument. And then the second episode of the arc, it'll be like 2 or 3 instruments,
a layer.
And then 3. It's like, yeah, because I noticed this time it was a little more grand, but it wasn't the most grand intro. Yeah. So it was like the second one. And then I bet if you go back and watch 7, that it will be
like a play on this
the very elementary version of this. I don't know. It's all of the. Just everything about this show has just been super cool. Even if it's like they're not explicitly saying that these are 3-episode arcs, you know, like they don't have to be. I think it's better for them to leave it ambiguous and just kind of do it if it works, and then if it doesn't, then
it's working for it, man. Like this shit's this episode was incredible. One thing we had we talked about quite a bit was Marva's inevitable death, and you know we theorized that maybe the best possible way for her to go out was either in a blaze of glory for the rebellion, or peacefully in her bed, you know. But part of that was that Cassian should be there, and it makes it all the more heartbreaking that she wasn't. Plays in a little bit more to the way Cassian was looking at Olaf a couple episodes back when he was realizing Olaf was kind of going, and he was like, oh no, like I said a couple weeks back, he was looking at Olaf thinking about how he might not see his mom again, and he won't see his mom again. And yeah, when we cut there, man, like whenever they're like, she went, like she looks so peaceful, Brasso talking to B, man, I'm crying. And like, she didn't die on screen. They're just talking about it, man. And like, that was enough for me.
It's just the implication. Like, yeah. It's like, because you start seeing Cassian still escaping at the beginning of the episode. You know, you see them on the run, and you know that they weren't together. Like, it's like, it was that thought. I was like, oh man, she's dead. Holy fuck, this sucks. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, Cassian, no. And then I'm like, it all hit me, and I'm like, no, dude, this is not okay.
Nah, man, that shit was heartbreaking, and it really, and like the way that whenever we're seeing it through B's lens, and it looks like fogged up, like almost teary-eyed. It's a fucking droid, you know? Like this is
the most emotion ever in a droid, maybe, in Star Wars history.
It's up there, dude. It's up there.
Like, you have the emotional moment of, like, 3PO being like, let me look at my friends one more time. But, right. Like, I mean, like, just sheer, like, actual human emotion, like, here. Like, this was just, like, whenever, like, even later on, whenever Brow's like, all right, let's go, buddy. You know, yeah. And it's like, no. And he's like, okay, I'll stay for one night. And then he gets out right then.
He, like, rolls towards him like, no! Oh, dude.
Like, yeah. There were so many little things like that in this episode that were just so sad. Like, just a beautifully shot episode. Like, it was. Oh,
it was
the lighting, everything. Oh,
dude. Let's get into it. Let's do a little bit of a scene by scene breakdown. I took, like, the most succinct scene by scene notes I ever have. Literally, like, usually I'm pausing, taking down everything. I was just like I typed this all out as it was going. It took me like 35 minutes or however long the episode runs for. And I was like, all right. So, it's expansive, but, it got the job done. So we begin Daughter of Ferrix, Andor, episode 11, with Cassian and Melshi on a cliffside, struggling, hands and feet bloodied. They're hiding, you know. There have been Imperial patrols. It kind of implies that they've been walking and climbing for a while. They're trying to figure out a way off, and Cassian assures Melshi, you know, they're gone, they're leaving, and he's like, don't fucking say that to me, dude. I don't think I could do this anymore. I don't think I can climb. And he's like, nah, bro, you got this. And he's like, tell me they're leaving again. And he's like, they're leaving. And that's when they decide that they can push on. And, like, man, it was immediately set the tone for just how hard these dudes are struggling right now. And
every situation, Cassian is the leader. He's the one holding it together every time. And it's now it'll be interesting to see what happens now.
I can't believe it's so crazy. This show's been so fulfilling, and I'm left like, I can't believe we only have one episode left.
I know, because at the end of this, like, I kind of haven't really thought of what could happen next episode at all. Like, I didn't even think the story in the episode was so just, like, kind of nice that it hasn't even hit me that we have a single episode left, and I guess everything doesn't have to be tied up, but at least it has to be set in place for season 2 and satisfying enough for a season.
I don't even know. I think, we'll get there. I got some things that'll lead me there, but they go ahead and climb on out after this Imperial patrol goes on away, and the implication here that the Imperials have been patrolling the planet looking for the escaped prisoners means that a lot of them probably did not make it. And I know Melshi brings that up later, you know. How many of us do you think made it? Are we the only two? Like, what do you think happened? And, like, they might as well be the only two that made it, I think, is kind of the sentiment they have to approach this with. People have to know, we have to split up, they have to know what happened. And man.
Yeah, it's because, like, no way they run into someone, you know? No, like, there's no way they even if
they could, just for storytelling's sake, you know.
Even if, like, 100 people made it out, the odds that even 2 of them cross paths in the entire galaxy, like, after that,
not big.
unless I don't know, convert. Like, that's the thing, though, is that, like, there was no return for Kino at all. And it frightens me. Like, because I think it's out of the picture now. I don't think, like, do they go back there? Do they maybe?
So a thought occurred to me. Maybe he's not killed. Maybe he's just immediately imprisoned again. Maybe he's taken to the ISB. Maybe he's able to narrow a little bit of a focus on where Cassian might be. I know he knows him as Keith Gergo.
That's the thing, is that he's not known as Cassian there whatsoever. Like they would have to somehow find out that Cassian became or went to whatever vacation planet he went to.
Niamos.
They'd have to figure that out, and then that from that identity he went to prison. That's how they'd have to figure it out, and I guess the ISB could. I was trying to think of like, even if they do, I guess they go there and they're like, oh, a prison break. Well, no, because there's no way they hear of the prison break. There's no way they relate the prison break to him whatsoever, unless they have already followed that trail. So
yeah, the only way I could think about it is if they're like, if the prison, like the guards and the people who ran the prison go, these two led the prison break. They have like little holograms of them, and an ISB agent's like, oh, hold the fucking phone. That's Cassian Andor. Then I could see something there, but it's probably a little bit of a stretch, and maybe and that's the thing, is that this show covers an extensive period of time in the next season. Who knows just how much we see relate back to this. I just can't imagine Cassian takes such a large role in a prison break that was so insurmountable. There's no way this doesn't make its way up the ladder. Like the news of this, unless these guards are so fucking shameful that they go, nobody knows about this. And that's also a distinct, nobody can know about this. And that's a distinct possibility as well. But regardless, I'm interested to see what might connect back to that story eventually. Obviously Melshi and Andor come back together somehow. As
True.
they're together in the Rebel Alliance.
Okay. Because someone pointed out that the prison suits kind of look like a very early going of a rebellion fighter pilot suit.
Yeah.
And I think that could make a lot of sense, because someone also said that in the early days of a rebellion, you're only going to have the craziest people. You're only going to have the Saw Gerreras, the Luthen Reals, the people who have nothing left already and have been through something where it's like, fuck it, I will join a rebellion.
Yeah.
The only time that you have sort of normal people, and that's just in air quotes, is whenever it's a full-on revolution already. It has to be a full-on revolution for someone to be like, okay, I will leave my stable job and family and whatever for this because it's big enough. But at the beginning, you only have the crazy people. And it'd be awesome if these prisons are probably everywhere, and if they are making the Death Star, there has to be so many of them.
Right.
If they lead mass prison breaks, just drop in one person, because the Empire could be stupid enough to be like, no one knows of this, we don't need to up our security because the other prisoners have no idea, they're not going to have any idea how to do this. They could just be that dumb. They could send one person into each prison, take over the tower, shut everything down, say, all right, the floors are cold, I'm lowering the levels, go grab, there's not enough guards.
It would be pretty nuts if the Rebel Alliance is made up of escaped prisoners from Imperial prisons.
Who would be more fueled for the fight than
those
people, and being like, you weren't going to get out. You were trash to them. You were literally a means to an end. You were, a cog to the greater machine. It's insane. I could see, I don't know. And maybe that's how Kino comes back in, is they go back to actually break everyone out.
That would be cool. That would be cool. But yeah, we'll see, I suppose. Obviously Melshi is on a mission to let people know what's happening within the prison system. That is goal number one for Melshi. I don't know that it's exactly goal number one for Cassian. Especially after the news that his mother has passed. I think his priority is probably going back to Ferrix and seeing her burial sort of thing, or her brick. So like I think that maybe Melshi leads that sort of cause to try and break out of prison, but we shall see. But after this first scene, we cut to Ferrix, where Marva has sadly passed. She looks peaceful, Jesse says, and they're deciding what to do. They should leave stuff to Cassian. He'll appreciate it. Like he'll need it. And Brasso gives B a chance to say goodbye. He says he'll have everyone clear the room so he has a moment alone with her. And B hits back with, I don't want to be alone. I want Marva. I was like, oh, God.
And the Bix isn't there either, man.
No, yeah, that really tore me up when we saw her later in the episode. I was like, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, this one's, but I love that Brasso was there. You know, I do love that Brasso was able to be there for probably Marva and her later moments, but also B. And you know, he gives him the chance to say goodbye, but B's like, I can go with you, Brasso. And Brasso's like, nah, I think the daughters of Ferrix will need you for matters of great importance. You know, you stick with the daughters of Ferrix, they got you. And we watch the daughters march her body out with B2 watching on. And I love the way that this whole scene is like kind of told through the perspective of B. Like, you know, starting with his lens being clouded and fogged, and like almost like a tear was welling in his eye, even though like he's a droid. That's not a thing that's happening, but like that's the kind of vibe you get from it at the beginning. Whenever like I was like, are we seeing it through Marva's dead eyes? Is that kind of what I'm looking at right now? And then they pulled out to show B, and I was like, him huddled in his fucking box that he's a part of, his eye barely sticking out, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, there was a Brasso had like I don't know if it was his, but some cup of liquid on top of B, and that's what he was shaking, and the camera was so in on that it looked like it was the fluid, like it looked like a tear was welding up, like with that like liquid in the cup. So like it went from his eye to the inside the cup and like showed like a tear, and then went back to his eye, and then Brasso like grabbing the tear like as it falls off of him. It's just like, oh man,
very
so cute.
Just a very well done scene, and it was incredibly moving. It was like I'm like, we're 5 minutes into the episode, bro. I'm sobbing right now. Like I'm sitting in my bed. It's 7 a.m. I'm like, God, like I'm feeling it. I'm very sad. But as B watches on, the way that he's like watching through the window as they like carry the body out, and it's like, oh my God, he is not alone in watching on. As we see nearby, the ISB spy is watching, and as does Cinta, and they have a very brief, inconsequential interaction, but it's cool that they're both so fucking good at their jobs that neither of them think anything of the other. That's always something I like.
It's only for us. It's only for the audience to know, which is cool. Yeah.
I love watching them. Well, and that's the thing too, is that like, we obviously are like, okay, this guy's ISB, right? But if you haven't been paying attention, you probably don't know until he goes, all right, I need eyes on this place. I need like if you if you're just kind of having this show on and like vaguely paying attention, you know, this guy's a guy of interest, and he's a white guy with that weird hat. So he's probably an Imperial, but like that hat is so ISB. What the fuck is going on?
Man.
They were just like, I don't know, spray paint it tan.
I guess more in plain sight, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just because it's not white, black, or gray,
right?
Maybe is enough for them. But yeah.
This was a great scene, and like I haven't even thought about my favorites for this episode. It's gonna be so fucking hard to decide.
I think I got mine down. I put mine down. This is the first time that I've done mine before recording, for one. I felt passionate enough to be like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Like,
I just didn't have time. I watched it.
Yeah.
I hit you up like, yo, are you ready to go? And then you were like, yeah. And I was like, all right. You said I got like, I'll be ready in like 20 minutes. I was like, I'm going to take some notes. I was like, I rewatched it. I was like, skipped through a couple like skip 10 seconds ahead every chance I had where there was like no dialogue. I was like, all right, yeah.
Oh yeah, this one I knew my favorites coming out of this one.
I'm confident about character. That's
Okay.
about it though. I think I gotta go B2 emo.
For character. Okay.
Of all the characters in this episode that like, and obviously Luthen puts on quite a fucking performance later on, but of all the characters in the episode that were making me feel things, B did it more than anyone, and that's kind of nuts. You know, I think Cassian did at the end too, but you know, we only get a few brief glimpses of Cassian. Really, like we don't spend a lot of time with Cassian this week, other than the escape from Narkina 5, and that's where we're headed after this scene of Marva's passing. Melshi and Cassian are plotting on how to sneak their way around a couple locals and steal their quad jumper. And Melshi he's fucking confident. He's ready. I have a feeling. Yeah, we got this, bro. Let's make a fucking run for it. And they run and they find their way into the intergalactic version of Spider-Man's webs.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah, that shit was icky. And I like that the Narkinians there like watched on and were like, haha, they don't know what the fuck they're about to get into. Like, I like that they were like, yeah, we know how it goes. Like, we'll post up a little security system right quick. And the fact that it was like retractable, like they don't have to like do anything with it. They could just like suck it right back in, and it's like, yeah, fuck it. Outstanding. And like this was the one thing that a lot of people have had a gripe about with this show, and like I don't think it's I think it's a fair like I wish we had more of it, but I don't think it's a criticism necessarily. Is that there haven't been enough aliens in Andor, like goofy looking, like oh shit, like because this scene oddly enough reminded me why I fucking love The Mandalorian. Like I was watching it and I was like, for the first time in the show, I felt like I was watching like a Mandalorian-esque scene whenever the Narkinians are like, oh, blah, 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 you right. They're like doing their whole like Narkinian language, doing their own thing, and like you're not really clued into what they're saying. They go into basic every once in a while, and they're like, I just really liked that. I thought like you know, it's not something I felt like the show has needed necessarily, but as a Star Wars fan, it's nice to see them lean into the galaxy far, far away thing. You know, we've seen stuff on Ferrix, more background stuff on like Coruscant and Ferrix, but like to center in on a couple aliens for a scene, I was like, yeah, finally. All right.
In a situation like this, where these two characters that capture them mean nothing whatsoever, they could literally be anybody. Anything. They could have captured them in any way, let them go in any way. Like that's the thing, they had complete creative freedom here. Like,
yeah, and it was incredibly creative. I really loved it. But in between them getting captured and getting set free, we cut to Ferrix very briefly, where the fuckboy prefect tells Deidre that Marva has passed. He's like, they'll request a permit for closing off a Rick's Road. We'll deny it, as we always do, but they like to ask. And Deidre's like, dude, you guys are fucking idiots. Let them have the funeral. It's an opportunity for us to sit back, watch how they do things. And also, maybe Cassian comes back. That's all. That's what we're here for, you know? So stop being fucking dummies. Think tactically a little bit. And it's here that we learn that the Ferrix, you know, they have a max 2 days before they can execute the funeral. And the funeral is they're mixed into brick and mortar and become a brick of Ferrix, helping build the community. And it just made me think like, oh, like that's one of the things that's always stood out to me about the design of Ferrix. Like this was such a good detail to throw in about Ferrix. I've always thought it was interesting how it's built with brick and like it looks the way it does. And like the idea that a lot of them are people of Ferrix who have passed. Like that's
sick.
Oh, what
like,
a fucking
into
great...
the foundation of the city. You become the city. Yeah, like that's sick.
And it makes so much more sense why Marvel would be like, you have to go and I can't leave. You know, like this is my home. This is where I will die. You know, like that's it just made everything complete a little bit more for me, and I really loved it.
Did she tell him that to like pick a wall or something along those lines? I think like she said something. I thought I remembered a line that Marva told Cassie, and that I was like, what does that mean? Like it was a little something out there. But now I now thinking back on it, I think it might have been like
maybe it was when Bix came and visited and she was like wheezing and stuff. Like I can't remember, but
oh no, yeah, it would have been there. But like I swear, like she mentioned maybe a wall or something like that. Like
interesting. No, yeah, I didn't catch that, but I'd be willing to bet that she gets a brick on Rick's road, probably like right where they hanged.
Oh,
like right by there. I think it would just be a little poetic.
Yeah.
Something
Dang.
But
I didn't even think about that. That's
that one hurts.
Or up in the bell tower, very tippy top, top brick, like
that'd be pimp. That would be pimp, like a beacon of Ferrix. That'd be very, very cool. I like that we got the bell ringer back this week too. Fucking huge.
Huge. I mean, shit. That was, let's see. I think your favorite character. What?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, episode 2. Yeah. The bell ringer, episode 2.
That was my favorite character, episode 2. Loved seeing him back. You know, that's my glove shitto. Fucking love that guy.
Hell yeah. No, I haven't gotten to my character yet, but we'll get there.
No, yeah, and your character is completely founded. I don't even need to ask. But back on Narkina 5 after this brief scene on Ferrix where Prefect is talking to Deidre, the two Narkinians weigh the value of Melshi and Cassian's lives, you know, like, oh, what the fuck? You know, we could probably get a lot of money. They're prisoners. We could go to the Empire. And they're like, no, we haven't done shit. The Empire fucked us over. And I like that they like go into their own language. They start,
eat really good for the first time in a long time. What do you say?
Yeah.
You know?
I also love that they're like, they didn't do any harm. The Empire's been fucking us over, you know. They've poisoned the water. They've done all sorts of shit to fuck up the planet. And the Narkinians are like, you know what? Solidarity. They go ahead and free them. And they're like, where are you off to? You know, I like that they take like a really friendly turn. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and that
going from selling them to eating them to being like, you know what? Yeah, the Empire does fucking suck. You guys can go. You can take our ship. Fuck it.
Yeah, like that's what's fantastic. I love that it was just so fucking just the general population in the Star Wars universe. Like usually you run into a problem and it's like, oh no, how are we going to get out of this? But a problem was presented here, and the people who looked like they could be the problem were like, you know what? Nah, we're actually pretty good dudes. We'll let you go. And I like that they were like, you need a fucking ride? I'll take you off planet wherever you want. Like that's hilarious. I absolutely love it.
Where you want to go?
Yeah.
Where are you looking to go?
It's like Niamos, and they're like, oh, Niamos, huh? Yeah, I could use a vacation. Let's go. Yeah, they take off, sputtering engines and all, you know, like the little
almost crashing into the water before they take off too. Like it barely gets off.
Absolutely outstanding. But next up on Coruscant, Clea is paid a visit by Vel, who isn't exactly holding up the traditions of code speak in the shop. She's rather insistent that she talks to Luthen, asking where he is, and Clea's like, he's not here right now. We would get back to you tomorrow if you sent up a flag. Like that's kind of how it goes. And she's like, oh, I know he's not here. I checked the back before then. The Fondor's gone. What the fuck going on there? And Clea's like, you are lucky he's not here. This would go rather poorly for you the way you're fucking talking. We can't do shit like this here. And Vel responds, you know, I gave him Aldani. I can kind of do whatever the fuck I want. What have you done for him lately? And I loved Clea here being like, for me, there is no lately. There is always. Like, I'm a crucial part of this operation. I am always dealing with everybody. Like, I am the face of the operation. Luthen is the fucking background. You know, like, so you want to come at me and ask what the fuck I've done? Just hold the fucking phone. Like, I was like,
she had her Luthen speech like last episode.
Yeah. What can I sacrifice?
Yeah, she had there. I think it's more of I was trying to think of it as like Clea was actually the one doing all the things, and Luthen was taking orders from Clea. But I think it's more of just like anyone who's taken this vow is just sort of seen like we're in this together. We don't take orders from really anybody. Everyone's just on the same level, sort of thing.
Yeah, for now anyway, until there is a true hierarchy, as there is later on, whenever it becomes a true military organization. But for now, it's like, hey, Luthen kind of runs the show, but Clea's there kind of holding it down with him, and it's like, all right, he's got help, at least he has someone. But Vel's like, all right, fair enough. I just wanted to let you know that Cassian's mom died. I'm taking off in the morning. Cinta says, it's pretty crowded there. I think that kind of implied she's going to pick Cinta up and get her the fuck out of there. Like there's no reason to be there anymore is kind of the way I took that. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the reason they were there in the first place, was just to see if he would come back, and that's the most likely spot. So I guess, it would make sense if she were to stay for the funeral, though. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I think her funeral is where shit pops off.
Because that would make sense that you have Cinta there, maybe Vel, and then Cassian,
Brasso, maybe Bix is fueled by a fire
somehow. Bix.
Well, I think it'd be cool if they have the funeral right outside the hotel, and like Bix sees it and is like motivated by their show of force. Like there could be something there. It could be very interesting. But I think ultimately one of the ways that they think.
Oh my god! It's gonna be the bell that keeps Bix in it, and the clickety of the town. She's gonna hear the screams, and she's gonna need something to like keep her into reality, and be like, "What am I fighting for?" And she's gonna hear the dong, dong, and then the clickety. Oh, dude, it's going down on. I didn't even think of that. It's going down on Ferrix.
That's what the finale is the Ferrix revolution.
Because even Narc's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Narc's coming.
Everyone's going to Ferrix. That's where it's all culminating right now. I have little to no doubt. But
okay.
Yeah. But back on Ferrix. Speaking of, the ISB spy is enjoying a beverage and watches Brasso make his way to Marva's place. And B is like, Brasso, you're back. And the agent clearly has more people here watching as he requests a full accounting of any comings and goings from this apartment. He's wanting everyone to keep a lookout for him. And then on the inside, well, first we get bell ringer going like that's the end of the day. Bong, 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 bong. Lets everyone know, and back inside the place, Brasso tells B it's time to go. And B isn't very receptive of the idea. He wishes to stay. This is home. And Brasso insists that he can't leave him here alone, and B's like, then you should stay. And Brasso's like, one night. And B's like, that's all I wanted to hear. He gets out of his charging port, comes towards him, and is like,
goes right by his feet. So you want to start with some board games or some video games, or what do you want?
Can we make a puzzle? Absolutely fucking love B, man. That's and I think I have no doubt that's my favorite character of the episode. He was just so fun.
That's a good,
I don't think I've given him that nod either. So I'm
I gave him it for the first episode, the very first one, and that was it. So yeah, this is his first nom for you.
I like to spread the love for the character.
Oh yeah, no, you got a good spread. You've definitely got a very good spread. I got a lot of Luthen. Yeah, Luthen is my only repeat one, I think. Yeah, Luthen's my only repeat. So, but I mean, you have a very, very good. Yeah, I don't think you have a single repeat.
I've been trying to stay kind of conscious of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bix, the Bell Ringer, Luthen, Vel, Nimic, the Aldani Elder. That's a goated one there. That one dude.
Yeah.
Leading everything. Clea, Saw Gerrera, Kino, Loy, Cassian, and B2. Ooh, dude. Yes. Yeah, you got a good spread.
Yeah.
I got Luthen, and another Luthen. One more. That's where I'm going this episode. So I got 4 Luthens.
It's kind of hard to not go Luthen this week. He was pretty fucking badass, and he got a lot more. He got a lot more screen time than he usually does. Like, he kind of dominated this episode, and we haven't even. What's crazy is we haven't even got there. Like, he hasn't. Nope. Which is like the back half of this episode. He's all up in that hoe. It's pretty great. But next,
oh my god, he is the back half of the episode. Kind of like the whole fucking thing. I just scrubbed through it. Like, after Narc talks to whatever boy, like, and it's Luthen talking to Saw Gerrera. That's like the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's with credits, but like around 25 minutes, that starts Luthen's story, and then it doesn't end until
we go back to Cassian talking to Xan, right?
And that's just the very one scene.
Very 1 minute, 2 minutes, yeah.
Damn.
But next we are with Bix, who is not doing she's looking bad, and she's asked to accompany an Imperial, and she's taken to yet another interrogation, and she's threatened that if the guy who is receiving her answers doesn't feel she's being honest, she'll get some more Gorst treatment, a little bit of screaming children. That'll be good for her. And she's presented a hologram of Anto Krieger, and she's asked, "Is this the man you introduced to Cassian Andor?" She doesn't answer. Tears well in her eyes. And the overlay here was a fucking amazing choice. Just haunting and devastating. The Chandrillan children on Coruscant doing their little ritualistic fucking, I don't even know what to call this, like their fucking
speak.
Yeah,
their little
old ways.
The
way that all those voices overlapping came in while we were still on Bix, and she was reeling and her eyes were welling with tears. It was like, oh man, like she's just clearly.
You think that cry was her trying to be like, dang, you got him, and I don't want to say yes, trying to like trick him, or like crying as in like, damn, I know I'm gonna have to go get some more gore treatment, because I'm gonna tell them no, and it's the truth, and they're gonna be like,
no, I don't believe you. I think no matter what, it's an L. Like, no matter what, if she says yes, they'll go, oh, is it? And they'll go ahead and give her more. She says no, they'll go, oh, is it? And like, no matter what, I think it's like there's no good answer she can provide. If she does, like, I also think she's having a conflicted heart of like, I can't tell them one way or another. Like, I think she's still holding it down. Like, she still is refusing to speak. Ever since she's been taken there, we have not seen her speak a word.
True.
Like,
she knew Krieger too. She recognized him. Like, she looked at him and instantly. Like, I don't know if it was just.
I took that look as more relief that it wasn't Luthen.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was like, oh, sweet, you're not that onto it yet. Like, you are.
That's probably more fair.
I took it more as like oh, cool, all right. So I don't have to worry about Cassian that hard. Y'all don't know what it's hilarious that the Imperials can't find someone in an Imperial prison. Like, that's so fucking funny.
Just a different name. That's all it took.
Yeah, that's all it took. So fucking funny. But the Chandrillan kids are taking part in the old ways there on Coruscant. And Vel is appalled. She's like, no fucking way they're doing this shit. And Mon's like, yeah. Like, she is so unfeeling, so desensitized. Her hair is a little bit roughed up compared to what she usually looks like. Is she sipping on something in this scene?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like, she's going a little wine mom here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the way she's like, yeah, I don't know, man. And Vel's like, are you making her? She's like, no, it's not me. And she's like, Perrin? And she's like, surprisingly enough, no, it's her. She loves doing this shit. It's the only thing she's ever on time for. She loves being with her friends and doing this shit. And Vel's like, don't tell me you're taking proposals. And Mon's like, I'm in trouble, Vel. Like, I've got shit going on. And she finally explains to Vel. And that's what's cool about it is, like, a couple episodes ago they were doing that, like, oh, I can't tell you everything thing. And now Mon's like, I'm having a rough fucking time, man. She explains literally everything that she's been going through. Obviously, Vel still holds back because there's that part where Mon's like, everything was so simple, and then Aldani. And Vel's like, ugh, yeah, I did that one. That was me. Like, oh god, I can't. Yeah, oopsies, made shit really hard for you. Sorry, cuz. But
I could give you that 400,000, like, no problem.
Yeah.
But you know,
oopsies. But I do love that she explains everything, including that last year she was pulling $100K out of the family trust every month without a trace.
Damn.
Like, I liked that little detail where they were like actually like explaining how much money she was moving. She wasn't fucking around. She did that shit for a year. That's over $1 million credits she moved.
She's funding the rebellion solely, probably, like,
for the time.
Yeah, like, which is nuts. Like, then, because how long did they say she would? They say for the last year.
She said last year.
Just, damn.
She just said last year I was pulling out $100K a month for the family trust. But she also says 400. Like she says, and then we figured out a way to cover it all up. But at the end of the year, there was one ledger. There was one ledger that was too obvious. It was too obscure. You can't hide it. So I needed help. And right when she's ready to explain how she got that help that she needed, Lyda enters. And it's kind of it lets Vel know, like, oh, I see. It's some sort of proposal. That's how this whole conversation started. And the way she just, like, dead eyes her mom, like, oh my God, she fucking hates this woman.
Yeah, she sucks.
Like, it was so disheartening. Like, even while she was doing like the Chandrillan old ways with her homies, she'd like look up and just seethe at her mom. Like, dude, chill the fuck out a little bit.
The fact that it wasn't even Perrin to, like, push her into this. That even Mon is like, no, like, yeah, no, she's doing this all on her own. Like, I don't know, she's just really into this. It makes it even worse. Like, it's like she's even more like Perrin. Like, it's Perrin is so in her mind that his decision just comes out no matter what, him not having to say anything. So it's like, I don't know, that is kind of nuts. That, like Mon, like, this proposal might actually just be, like, the best thing. Because, like, the daughter might see it as, like, oh my God, yes. Like, this is all I want, you know?
No, yeah, like, I genuinely think, like, the thing is that it truly at this point depends on who that news comes from. If Mon poses the idea that she's going to get a proposal, she's going to be fucking pissed. If Perrin poses it, she'll be like, cool, yeah, I love that. You know, like, and that's what fucking blows. Like, that's what Perrin has done to this child. You know, like, Perrin has turned her against her mom so fucking much that, like, no matter what she does, she's wrong.
I can see the scene where Mon is like, she realizes that, and she's like, all right, I need Perrin to tell her. So she goes to Perrin and is like, hey, I need, like, because how does she say that to him? She doesn't, you know, because Perrin's going to be like, oh, now you're one for the tradition, you know, now you like it, you know, right. Like, now you're going to, you know, oh, now you need my help, you know, now when it comes to this, and he's like, no, Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe he tries to blow it up or something even more.
Yeah, there's like that's the thing is that
That's
household.
how they die.
Maybe.
Luthen's like, need to make the hard decision. Sorry. Like, sorry, it's your family. You know? Like, dude, no way.
Maybe Davos Skoldoon takes matters into his own hands. Like maybe that dude, he's a thug, not a banker. Maybe he's
True.
like, maybe they turn it down, and he's like, well, gonna cap that ass. I could see something like that happening too, but we shall see. But when Lyda enters, she dead eyes her mom. She's very happy to see her aunt, though. Very excited to see Vel. And then Mon's eyes well with tears as she looks on. Like it was just such a like. You can tell she loves her daughter so fucking much, but she's just her daughter fucking hates her, and she just doesn't know what to do about it. And it's just so sad, you know.
I have her. I don't think she gets the nod for performance this episode, but she definitely gets an honorable mention for this scene because, like, the deterioration of her being, like, sort of calm, collected, and then at the end of it by, like, totally breaking down. Like, she looks like a completely different person at the end of this. Like, it's crazy. And her, like, way of, like, the breaks in her voice, like, it was just so good. I just don't think it matches quite the end, and just I think the end scene alone solidifies the performance.
Yeah, Diego Luna as Cassian here was
yeah,
man.
Honorable mention to Genevieve O'Reilly though for this scene.
I think so too. But we are next in a brief scene with Narc, who is informed by Bootlicker that Cassian's mother has passed, and that he might be coming back to the planet for the funeral. And I like that this scene was so, like, this scene bothered the shit out of me so fucking much while I was watching it, just because like it was like the sound design was really good for this reason, but it was annoying as fuck. I don't like watching these two on screen. You know, I hate both of them. I hate what they stand for. I hate that Bootlicker was still like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold it down for my boy. You know, that's all, dude. Dude, look at this shit. Like that's fucking annoying.
Move on.
Yeah, dude. Leave. And I love that this dude's like clearly down bad too. Like he's working the night shift on Morlana, and he's like, he's not doing well. He's like, hey man, heard some shit about Cassian. I told you I'd let you know if I heard anything. And he's like, yes, please, please tell me. Yeah. And the way at the end of the scene, the mom's like, I see. I see why you're the way that you are.
And this is fine. Your whatever is finally finalized. I can finally rest, or whatever she says at the end there. Like that mom is so like it's so they're such perfect. Like they're such a perfect family. They
deserve each other so fucking much. Like they fucking I hate Narc. So it makes I love that he has a mom who's so disappointed in him, and I love that the mom's such a bitch and she has a son that she's so disappointed in. Like that's just they deserve each other. But next we get another brief scene with Cassian back on Niamos now. I liked seeing an interesting little detail is that the beach is like empty now. It was
no one wants to run there anymore.
It was like popping off the first time we saw it.
Well, I guess people just know that people are getting arrested and sent to prison for much longer than before. They don't know exactly what's happening at the prison, I guess. But they just know that it's like, you can't fuck up at all.
This dude walked past me and got locked up for 6 years.
I didn't even think about why they showed the empty beach. Like, I thought it was just kind of a shot setting up, like, we're at the planet, but, like, it's totally to show that, like, no one's risking it there's no fun anymore.
No, and the Empire has sucked the life out of even the most fun place in the galaxy. And like I did love the little creatures we saw here, the like the blue pelican type things. Fucking love that. Those are cute. Those are pretty. I like Star Wars creatures.
Oh, and right here with the box, man. Whenever he gets in the hotel room, I'm thinking one thing in my head. one thing only. I'm like, where the fuck is that manifesto? Show the fuck in that box. And I mean, I don't think we could have gotten a better like manifesto shot, and like hearing Nemec's voice too.
Yeah,
dude.
Yes,
like
fucking magnificent. He opens the old lockbox, credits a blaster, the manifesto with Nemec's voice reading it. And I love that this is like just someone else's place now, and he's just like, gotta sneak in, and like, gotta grab this. I thought that,
is it tyranny required? Is that what the phrase is?
I think it's like tyranny is required to like, and like he's about to go into what you have to do to face tyranny. And so I'm excited because now that he has that back in his possession, it's only a matter of time before we listen to Nemec read. And dude, if we hear
the fact that it's not just written, I thought it was just a journal. The whole time in my head, I thought it was a written. I didn't know
Nemec was gonna read it.
Dude, it's like an electronic, written and spoken by him. It makes so much sense that he would speak it too.
And I'm just ready. I'm just fucking ready to hear Nemec on that fucking thing go. Rebellions are built on hope.
Wait a minute. I thought the voice line initially was like a nerd way to unlock the book, like say a passphrase, get into the manifesto and you can read, but it's definitely just like an audiobook and it was just picking up where he left off. Like Cassian was listening to it and it was just like, so? I think that's what it is that it's
I thought it was like an audiobook, but it was the very beginning.
You think? You think he's never opened it before?
I mean, I think maybe he has, but I don't know. Like I would have,
because he spent some time there. He found, unless he found that lady interest instantly, like he was there for some time.
He was there for about a month.
Yeah.
My thing is that like I think it'd be cool if he has read it, but I'd like to see him listening to it. Like I think it would be more meaningful. Like I think
I'd rather die trying. Imagine that comes from Nemec. In the manifesto already.
That would be cool.
Because, I would really dude, no. Oh, I didn't even think about this as a possibility. Like, Nemec voice, audio book, Nemec manifesto. I wonder if this is like a legit thing. They release it. Like, legitimately.
That would be
like, write a manifesto sort of thing. And releases like a
guide tearing down imperial governments.
But like in Star Wars universe, but no, that was it was really nice just to get Cassian going back to get it, because like obviously we knew it needed to happen, and we were like, man, I hope his manifesto's in there whenever we see the box, and then there we go.
There you have it, lassie. But yeah, that was fantastic. I was very glad to see, and like as soon as he earlier in the episode went Niamos, I was like, yes, he's got shit to go back for. Let's get it. And I'm glad that's what he did. And nice brief scene. But after that, we cut to Saw's camp, where Luthen is paying a visit, and he's confronted, and his cane is confiscated. And they spend a moment really, really looking at it. They put it front and center for you to see.
I think this is a different cane. This is because the one before was like silver. I think it was like a all metal one. Maybe. At least the thing that extended I knew was like silver metal, but I thought the handle, when it was first introduced.
The handle has metal in it. It's just it's also wood.
I know, but I for some reason I thought the first one was way, like, I don't know. But so this, I don't know, maybe it is just the first one, I guess, which makes sense. But like a way better look at it here, regardless. Like, you get away, I don't know.
That handle looks a lot like a hilt.
Yeah.
Like exceedingly.
The end of it too. Like, one end is very handleish, and the other end is very like emitter. Like, yeah. I mean, it like right now it looks kind of like a little mini TVA eraser sort of thing.
Yeah.
A little bit, but like, no, there's some Jedi connection.
Very important to him too. He asks, either drop it or give it back. Either put it down or give it back to me. And they're like, all right, bro, yeah, take it. I like that Two Tubes is like Saw's in one of his moods, and Luthen's like, that's good to know. That's good to know. I guess I know what I'm walking into. And he walks in, and Saw is excited. He is revved up. He is ready to take on Spellhouse. And you were talking last week about why did we spend that time with Saw? This is why, so this conflict could come up. Luthen, it's much to Luthen's chagrin here that Saw is excited about Spellhouse. Luthen is like, I don't think that that's the thing we should do. And he's like, why not? And he's like, okay. So the ISB knows, and they're gonna 30 men are gonna die. 30 men plus Krieger are gonna all get. And Saw's like, huh. So you're willing to sacrifice all of them?
Interesting that you know that. How do you know that? Actually,
yeah, the distrusting fucker that he is. He goes, so you're ISB, and Saw asks, what would you do if it was me instead of Krieger? And Luthen's like, hey man, Krieger doesn't know me. He's never seen me. He's like, you've never met Krieger? He's like, well, I have, but he didn't know. We were in the same room at the same time, but he had no idea who I was. We have systems set up. We talk to each other in different ways. And Saw's only getting more and more amped up here. He's like, so he can't hurt you the way I can. And he's like, actually, yeah, exactly that. You know me. If you got captured, I'd be fucked. And he tells Saw that it's his decision. Do they play the long game and sacrifice these 30 men plus Krieger? Or do they warn him and risk setting ablaze a source that was many years in the making? And Saw's like, huh, you've got sources everywhere, huh? Do you have
looking around? Yeah, he was looking around the whole time before that too. He was like looking at all of his men, like at each one of them.
And I've talked about this a couple times. That the last time we saw the Rebel Rising book, Jyn Erso's coming up with Saw within his cadre and stuff, like what life was like with him, and towards the end of her time there, how he became just the most distrusting person alive. I like that we're seeing glimpses of that here. And you see it really, really on display in Rogue One, but like he's like well on his way to being the kind of like, I've lost my mind. I'm distrusting of everyone. Like he's
Oh, I didn't think of the actual possibility that Luthen may be bad. Like, is that a possibility?
No.
I don't know.
Why would he do this? He started this
very early on. I know it's very true. Okay. It doesn't make sense. The imagery of two red coming out just reminded me a little of Maul. Like, and just I don't know. Just the imagery. And like maybe because I'm trying to see like a twist that comes with Luthen, and I think the twist is that like there is some Jedi connection, and that's the whatever. We get the reason he's in the rebellion.
No,
and the reason
like this dude's a rebel. He's not bad, and that's what's important about this scene is I think it demonstrates that Luthen is a little bit of he does have a little bit of a heart to him, because when Saw's like, and you were ready to sacrifice those 30 men. And he's like, well, I was, but now I'm not so sure. Like it's like I want to leave it up to you. That's why I came here to talk to you about it. Like
is that really just kind of him putting the decision, just being like, I don't know, I kind of now because I had to tell you because you were so into this. But because I guess the thing, he would not have been here if Saw was so interested in doing it. He wouldn't have come to Saw to come get advice. In the situation, he would have he already made his decision. He's like, no, you're staying with me, and I'm letting him burn. Like that was how it was just going to happen. So I don't know if is it really, in good faith that he's letting Saul make the decision, or is it really just like, well, now he knows so I might as well see what he'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I don't think he's not bad.
No, he's definitely not. I mean,
if he is though, it'd be insane.
It would
would be a twist where like
it'd be like, what the fuck? Like, genuinely,
it's Palpatine, it's fucking Palpatine. And that's how he's so calculated, because he's the one pulling the strings, actually going into costume, like, just imagine. This is why we had never heard of Luthen. And
all
like,
right.
he just like,
if I'm truly imagining that, this show gets bad.
Like, if he is Palpatine,
if they take it that way, I'm gonna go, okay, well, this show lost all steam just now.
Would be nuts though.
It would be crazy. It'd be crazy, but I'd be sitting there almost laughing at how bad it is. Like, I'd be like, no fucking way they just took this that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck happened?
Insane, the season finale, you just see like a hooded figure. You hear Palpatine's laugh, and he turns around. It's just fucking Luthen.
Luthen's eyes are glowing yellow. He rips off a mask like it's Scooby-Doo.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off of the Luthen being evil train and get out of here, because it's not happening whatsoever.
No, it's not.
I do, to draw it back. My favorite line at first of the episode was Luthen saying, whenever he's talking about Krieger, like, yeah, I've met him, I've been in the room with him, but he doesn't know that. He can't hurt me. Like, it was just cool, like, the implication of the line. But then, my actual favorite line comes, like, a little later, here.
Mine too.
So I figure,
we will get there in just a moment, because Saw, is like, oh, do you have one here? Do you have a spy in my crew? And Luthen leans into it. He's like, yeah, Tube's over there. He's my spy. And Tubes is like, no, dude, wait.
Yo, dude, no.
No, I didn't do that shit. I didn't do anything like that. And he like approaches Saw, and he's lulled into a trap when Luthen takes his blaster and points it at Saw's chin. And Saw's like, you won't make it out of this alive if you do some shit like that. You know that, right? And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm only doing this so you'll listen. If Krieger goes down, the ISB will feel invincible. If they don't show up, they're forced to look into it. Better to give them the temporary satisfaction than have prying eyes. And ultimately, the merit of this point is too strong. Saw realizes he's telling the truth, and he agrees that 30 men plus Krieger are worth the long game. For the greater good, call it what you will. Let's call it war. And that's my favorite line. That's my favorite line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. I guess now that I'm thinking about it even more, is like, Luthen really didn't put the decision on Saw. They really made it together. Like, it was like, all right, we are doing this. We're making this decision. It sucks that these 30 men and they have to die, but this is a decision that we are actively making right here. So.
No, yeah, I like that for the first time. Saw it's kind of collaborative. Obviously it's tense, and it's like it had to be done at gunpoint. But like,
I guess that's how teamwork would happen.
Between
Saw,
that's like it's the only way it's gonna go down. And I did really, really enjoy this scene. It was another, like, I mean, a few episodes back when Saw and Luthen linked up. I was like, that might be my favorite. I think that was my favorite scene of the episode. I might have to pull trig on that again, because this scene was too strong. I'm gonna hold off, but we'll see.
No, not quite. I'm sorry. The dialogue and stuff is all good, and I've become one to like that much more out of an episode. But man, whenever we get just some good Star Wars action, I'm like, I can't play it down. Like, we got, I don't know, just the action when done right.
It's
just so good.
It was very strong.
Oh.
And we're only a couple scenes away from that, because
I can't wait.
We cut briefly to Narc sneaking around his Coruscanti apartment complex, and he sneaks into his apartment, locking up his safe. I think taking credits out of it. Is that what I saw? Like, is it?
This is mom's safe. He's taking his mom's money. And that was all of her jewelry. Like his mom,
what a fucking loser.
He's just taking all of his mom's money. Yeah, I don't know, because no way that's his jewelry and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Unless it is, and that's like you were sneaking around my stuff.
He waited for his mom to go off on a walk to go do that and go
true,
in there.
True.
So like he's just taking his mom's money and dipped.
That's so fucking shitty. What a fucking scumbag.
Yeah. Yep.
God, he's the worst.
They deserve each other though. It's perfect.
They really do. It's
perfect.
But we are next back with Clea, and she receives a signal from Luthen. And they have a nice coded conversation about something. Can you decipher what the actual subject of this conversation is?
I think it's Cassian. Oh wait, he wanted to reopen the offer. Saw. He's talking about Saw going back in on Krieger. Okay. Yeah. So he wanted to reopen. I think that's what they're talking about, maybe. Because I guess that makes sense because he's coming back right from that.
Do you know how how much it would fuck us over if this collectible fell into the wrong collector's hands?
I think the spy, the ISB, maybe that's what they're saying. Like they're
okay.
Well, maybe not. He wanted to reopen the offer, and did you close the sale? Is what Clea said. Did you close the sale? Well, I guess they have to speak in terms of an antique shop.
Yes, they do. They do.
So that doesn't make sense.
It's not probably an actual item. I just mean like
it
really
was more expensive than I hoped, but it wasn't. But I wasn't in a position to bargain.
So that part is about Saw. That part is about it was like. Right?
Yeah. Is it Saw or is it with the ISB guy? No. Yeah, it's with Saw. It has to be with Saw. Because, yeah. Okay. I wasn't in a place to bargain. No. So you're coming home, he says, depends. I'm most curious about the other piece. Then they switch. So they're done with that. So he said, Saw wanted to reopen the deal. Whatever happened. I wasn't in a place to bargain, so whatever. She says, you should come home. He says, it's no longer available. No, it's very much on the table. The negotiations are ongoing and our representatives are involved. But there's no other buyers involved and your presence would complicate the bidding at this point.
Is he talking about going to Ferrix and seeing Cinta?
And your presence would complicate bidding at this point. We need that piece. We lose that and we'll have to close shop. There's nothing more we can do. He says, that's never true. It's a crowded market. We need to think of the consequences of losing that piece to another collector. Maybe that's Cassian. Like losing Cassian. So I guess, yeah. So that preparing for every outcome, and then that's when it breaks up. I think that's fair to assume that it's Saw at first, and then they're talking of Cassian.
The conversation switches to him going to Ferrix. So is Luthen going to be heading to Ferrix next episode as well?
But she says your presence would only complicate matters at this point. And he's like, no, we need to make sure he doesn't fall into anyone's hands. So he's like, but him being there, that's what they're trying to find. You know, they're trying to find Luthen through Cassian. So him going to the funeral too, I guess it's the last thing the Empire would think, but
But there's also the fact that I think he was pulling up to whatever place he was going to
was he pulling up or taking off?
Well, that's the thing. If there's an Imperial right outside of...
Oh, because he would have been taken off from... Or wait.
Saw's planet, which can't be what's happening there.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, where was he? Did we see what planet?
Well, the Empire says Segra Minor or something like that. whenever they come over the transmission.
Okay, yeah, we see the planet. It just kind of looks earthy. Like it looks. There's clouds. There's green. There's mountains. Whoa, there's a big, like, circular kind of, I don't know, hurricane. Looks like very particular, very spiral cloud shape, but I don't know. That is interesting. I didn't even think of where he was at the time, or maybe if that even matters, because he shot off. He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an Imperial. Yeah, because no way he's just leaving Saw's planet, and an Imperial patrol is just...
I think he was pulling up to whatever was intriguing to him.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe we learn more about it next week. Maybe that's just it. But regardless, the transmission is cut off when Luthen is in the reaches of an Imperial vessel, and Luthen asks the Fondor to falsify an identity for him, preferably from Alderaan, and then he plays the imps. He gives the fake ID, and while they wait for that to come through, Luthen assesses what he's up against and takes the proper preparations. He's pulled into a tractor beam and puts more plan in motion. He preps countermeasures. The imps grow restless and ask that he power down his stabilizers, and he continues to refuse, continuing to talk to them like nothing's going on. They grow suspicious, and he continues to try to talk out of it again, but he's only stalling now. And when they decide to pay him a visit and inspect him, he decides it's time to get out of there. Stop by the tractor beam until his countermeasures activate. A series of bullets open up from the back of his ship and send them firing towards the tractor beam of the vessel. And I liked the way that like the Imperials were like, from a fucking, what the fuck, from this ship? I like that everyone keeps
whole craft or something like that.
Shit.
Like it was a farmer. It's supposed to appear as like a farmer's, like, or like a tow truck or maybe something like that, like a hole. Like
yeah, so, it's not supposed to appear threatening at all. Like in Cassian earlier in the series, like never seen one of these do that. You know, like this thing is pimped the fuck out. This man went and pimped his ride, but ties are then deployed, but they've got fucking nothing on Luthen. He goes full badass mode, shoots a few down, and lightsaber ships his fucking way out of there. Hopping into hyperspace and escaping with way too much ease. Like, this man dominated this interaction. It wasn't even fucking close.
Yeah, this from blowing up the first satellite dish until blowing up those last two TIE fighters and after that, I was like, holy, like, I don't know. I was like, that's the Star Wars that I want there. It doesn't have to be a lightsaber fight, you know? Like, that was some of the coolest Star Wars shit. Like, I was watching at, like, when it came out at 2 a.m., and girlfriend's sleeping right next to me, and I literally, like, after it's done, I go, like, holy fuck, like, I have, like, an overt react, like, out loud, like,
audible.
Like, I was like, oh, like, I kind of just started laughing. Like, I was just, I don't know, it was just so...
You were Luthen at the end of the eye going...
Yeah, like
leaning back and...
Yeah, it was so good. And, I don't know, this is my favorite scene.
You were fucking skiing in the eye. Let's go!
Yeah.
You know,
this was so hype. And him, like, he was just so, like, his ship is just so cool. Like, that ship just fucks.
It's nuts.
And he's becoming...
is that was one of the scenes that really stuck out to me in the trailer, was the lightsaber ship thing. They show that in the trailer, and at some point during the scene, I realized that it was time for that. So, like, it wasn't like, oh, shit! It was kind of like, oh, yeah, now's the time. And, like... Yeah, so I was like, that was an example of someone, I think, oversharing in trailers.
Man, I'm glad I don't pay close attention to trailers.
Well, really? I typically don't. That was just so fucking cool that I took notice
cool and obvious. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Dang, that would have sucked knowing that happened coming into it, because I had no idea, and it made it way cooler.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until, like, it was, like, just about to happen. It wasn't like I was like, oh, this is that area. This is where this is going to happen. It was like, right, like when he's starting to like arm his, like he gets into a TIE fighter fight. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is the part where that happens. And I was like, still satisfying, still super satisfying because that was some pimp shit. And it wasn't just that. It was the fucking way he destroyed a tractor beam, which is a problem everyone in the Star Wars universe faces. If you get sucked into a tractor beam, it's like, well, we're fucked. We give up. You know, like, rarely.
That's why, the one guard was like, does he think he can escape? Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, it was so unbelievable that, like, whenever those things just started firing back, they're like, oh shit, wait, what the fuck is that? And then, like, it's just way too late by the time they even realize what's going on, because it's so out of their minds that could even happen. Let alone that a ship that size can, jump to hyperspace, like, travel through hyperspace. That's insane.
Like, and then the imagery of, like, the shattered, tractor beam with the Imperial standing there, like, seething, like, what a fucking shot. That was so satisfying. Yeah, that scene was incredible. But after this, we're to the last scene.
Oh shit!
Yeah, back on Ferrix, Zan answers a transmission from Cassian, and he's trying to get a message to Marva that he's okay, that he's thinking about her, that she'd be proud of him, and that he'll be back soon. And Zan has the unfortunate task of telling him that his mother is dead, and that's the end of the call. Cassian walks over to Melshi at the shoreline, again looking out over the water. And every time you see Cassian out over a body of water, you just got to think about the way that he, like, his mother dies, he's facing this horizon, this body of water, and then like it's like it's like poetry. It rhymes.
I was too wrapped up in the emotion to realize what happened during this call. And the guy called him by name twice, Cassian.
Yeah.
And the Empire is listening in.
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to make the connection to that planet. They're going to be like, oh, maybe from this planet. I don't know how they get from there to the arrest, but the arrest would have happened at that planet in the prison. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where the ISB gets the connection from. That's the first seed, which is kind of sad, is that, like, it's through just letting Cassian know that his mother has passed away that, like, will probably, like, be the shoe-in for the ISB to let him know where he is. But, like, does he go to Ferrix? Like, he's going.
I think now that he knows his mother is dead and that there's probably funereal things going on, he'll probably pull up.
But like, he knows. He's like, he knows it's going. Or does he know that he's even being looked for right now?
I mean, he's a fugitive. Like, he escaped from prison. I think it's just kind of like a...
But he doesn't know that it's about to go down on Ferrix. He has no inclination of Vel or Cinta or Luthen looking for him or the ISB. He has no idea that that's happening.
Not at all.
And Narc. Yeah, so, he's going to Ferrix.
Yeah, I think so too.
Shit.
But,
shit.
Yeah, he gets off the call and meets Melshi at the shoreline and overlooking the water out to the horizon. Melshi contemplates their freedom. It's like a dream to him. He asks Cass how many does he think made it out alive? What if they're the only ones? It's like, somebody has to tell people. They need to know what's happening in the prison system. And he says they need to split up so at least one of them can make it. And they agree that this is the course of action. Cassian gives them a blaster. They embrace and they part ways. And the music swells as Cassian looks to the horizon. And we cut to black. And man, that music at the end, that was the other scene. I was crying that whole scene too, because the music really, like, after the conversation where Zan tells him that his mom passed, I like when he's like, tell her that she'd be proud of me, and and that I'm coming back, I'll be there. And Yeah, I start crying there, and then the way the music swells and stuff, like, God, it just really fucked me up. The imagery of them being on the horizon, the way this looked, like, it was just all
No
things
one
considered.
else is there too. Like, they're the only two out on the beach during the sunset. That's insane. Like, and I mean that's it. Like, that is the rebellion right now. That's all that it is. I think that's just what it's showing.
They're alone.
But man, like, Diego Luna, like, yeah, he
that's the performance nod. That was the other thing that made me fucking cry. You know, like he's the reason that scene hits the way it does. And it hits, man. Like, that was just, it was too damn good.
He, like, yeah, anytime that we get him looking out to a horizon, like, now, just makes it that much better. You know, because now that, you know, like, in that last horizon, the last moment, he's looking back on all of them, you know. And this is one of them that he'll remember, is like the first out of the first, I don't know what to call this one, post-prison horizon. You know, he got the horizon looking, the last look going into the prison, and then seeing it on the way out, and then now he got another one. I guess, yeah, with the passing of his mother too. That's probably the thing that
passing of his mother, and then
will
the
stick
passing
there with that one. Yeah, there.
And then the passing of him.
Damn. Fuck.
Right there on the shoreline, looking out over a body of water as the light overtakes him. I cannot wait to watch Rogue One again at the end of this season.
Oh, dude. No.
It's gonna hit in a whole other fucking way.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care about Cassian before.
No,
like,
yeah,
I did in the movie, like, when I watched it, like, obviously, but, like, after that, it was like, okay, like,
the emotional ramifications of that movie come from Jyn Erso. There's no doubt about it. And you know, the way that he reckons with his morality over the course of that movie because of Jyn Erso, like, that's compelling. But it's not because you're like, oh, Cassian's been through it, you know, like, it's because you know Jyn's been through it, you know, her dad was taken, you know, all these things. But now that we know all these things and more about Cassian, that movie is just gonna hit in a whole other way.
It's crazy how I'm seeing Cassian as, like, a core character to Star Wars now. Like,
crucial.
He's very, like, yeah, like, just as crucial as Luke. Just, like, or any Jedi, or, like, that.
Well, and I think that's kind of what this show's been saying about the rebellion at large. Like, the contribution that the dude, fucking the new arrival in the prison who shocks that guard, his impact is as important as anyone else's. Kino's lending himself to the rebellion is as important as Luthen and stuff. Like, anyone fighting for this cause, they made the greatest impact on the galaxy ever. And I think that's kind of what the show's just trying to say, all in all.
I don't know. It's sad that there's, like, still a lot of people complaining about this show. Like,
there's a lot of people who think it's boring, and I'm just like, God,
that's
people.
The take on this episode, is that it was super slow. The pacing is becoming a problem in the show, is what people are saying off this episode. And I mean, like, okay, off of last episode, sure. Like, we came off of, that was a perfect episode of television. Like, it couldn't have got much better. But, like, this was the cool down, the calm before the storm of the season finale. Like, this is,
well,
like,
my thing,
I don't know.
Like, I don't know what you're, like, the idea that we need instant gratification on every single episode. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And what do you mean this episode was, like, I don't know, man. I can't I can't take people seriously if they, like, I can understand if it's just not for you. If you're just not digging it, sure, whatever. But I don't know how you could. I've seen it's poorly written, and I just got to go, you don't know what that is, then you don't know what poorly written is if you think Andor is poorly written. Like that's just fucking insane. I think I can hear out that the pacing is a problem if it's something you don't like, if you're just not liking it, but it's not a problem as a critique to this show. You know what I'm saying? The pacing's been incredible for a slow burn drama, which is what they're giving us. And like,
I guess a lot of people probably wouldn't prefer like the Axe Forgets the Axe Forgets episode where it was just like a slow, before the heist. Like I bet like I'm thinking of all these episodes that we were like, oh man, what, like, because we gave that a 9.75 across the board for that one. But like I bet a lot of people just hated that episode, like on
probably
because like
one of the boring ones. And I understand that if it's something that you're just like, if you're just not into, but that just because you're not into it doesn't mean it's not good. Like you got to be able to acknowledge that maybe something's not for you, but it's still top tier, like I think something I've seen a lot of lately is like someone on fucking like Star Wars Theory, who I just fucking can't stand at this point, but he had like a guest on a show who was talking about how, I only saw this clip on Twitter, who was talking about how he can't understand how people compare this to like House of the Dragon and stuff. And like the thing about House of the Dragon that you are getting out of that show is that instant gratification every week. Every week there was a massive fucking thing that happened. And that's cool. That certainly adds a degree of just like, whoa, this show is awesome. Like it absolutely does. But a show doesn't require that to be good. Like he was saying it as a critique to this show. Like it's not as good. And I'm left in a place where like, frankly, both shows are incredibly written. I don't think there's been a show as well written as this one this year. I just don't. Like I think that this one is it's bringing the heat in a way I haven't seen. Like I genuinely think that by the end of this show's run, it'll be amongst my favorite shows of all time, if not my favorite show of all time after 2 seasons. Like this is fucking nuts to me.
It's kind of like the same thing as like the cameo problem that we're running into, where everyone's expecting to see everybody. After No Way Home, now it's even worse. It's like now that in Doctor Strange and Thor that we didn't get 500 X-Men and Fantastic Four already. It's a problem, and the movie wasn't good because we didn't get these cameos. Or No Way Home would have been a shit movie if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire weren't in it. It's like, is that really what made the movie for you? Like the more I look back on that movie, the more I'm like, wow, it was super fun and I loved riding the hype. But like, if I take that out of the movie completely, like it's really just it's the worst movie out of Tom Holland's trilogy.
Ooh,
like if you take Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland out, or Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire out, if you do, and you just solidify it to Tom Holland using Tony Stark's tech to defeat every villain for him, kind of in a way, it's like, I don't know, it's like, I think they sacrificed a lot of parts of a lot of the good parts of a Spider-Man movie just to give you the fan service and stuff. So like, it's a good movie, sure, but like we're getting to the point where like we are expecting everything to be so perfect or to deliver in some way that is like so unreasonable.
The thing that annoys me the most is that people beg for fucking fan service, and then when fan service is given, they go, "Oh, this is nothing but fan service." I don't know, man. What the fuck do you want? Like you are a fan, right? You're being serviced. What the fuck is wrong? Like I think just because something's fan service doesn't mean it's bad. I think just because something lacks fan service doesn't mean it's bad. Like it's like you got to be able to weigh things singularly on their own merit. Not everything needs to be compared to everything else. Not everything needs. It's just not a requirement.
Yeah, can you imagine if they sat down while writing the script of Andor, and they're like, okay, seasons 3, 5, and 8, we need a lightsaber moment. Episodes, not seasons, but episodes. You know, like, can you imagine if they were like, we need these moments in the show right around it? It's like, like, no, you can't do that. And that just, I don't know.
And like, the other thing is, no one's making you watch. This has been on for 8 weeks now. If you're still in it, guess what? I have bad fucking news for you if you keep saying you don't like it. Something keeps bringing you back.
Yep.
You keep watching it. What the fuck are you watching for if you don't like it? You know, like, I don't know. I think that people are... It's just, we live in a weird time for consuming media. It's
Disney. Can't accept that it's good, but I'll keep watching. And I'll keep checking to make sure that it's not good, you know?
Very cool about this show is it's going to be the first one that airs on TV. I don't know if you saw that, like network television. It's going, like, they're premiering the first 2 episodes next week on, like, ABC, A&E, like, I think TNT. Like, they're doing it, like, through Thanksgiving. Like, they're doing it, like, it's going to be on network television. It's the first Disney Star Wars show to do so because it's that level of good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Because I see it like because that's an older audience that will watch that.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not targeting the younger audience there. If it's network television, they know that this is a show that will perform well with adults, and like, I think they're hoping that all the young people will tell their families at Thanksgiving, hey, this is a show that, like, you could actually get into. It's Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars. You don't need to know anything.
I had that yesterday. I was like, yo, I think if there is any Star Wars thing you should watch, it's this. And I know I've said that, I've told him that about The Mandalorian because it's separate, but then season 2 happened and it was kind of like, okay, well, now you would need to know a lot more about Star Wars to appreciate the second season.
True.
It's just like, it's just a genuinely great story set in the Star Wars universe. And like, I understand if it's not for you, but you got to recognize that this shit is good. Like, it's good TV.
Yeah. I mean, we have a single episode that dips below a 9. And that's episode 2.
Yeah, it was the day the show dropped.
So, damn.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And with that, let's do some favorites.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got left?
I think it might just be your scene. Would be the only thing left. I don't know if I specifically
give me a rundown of all yours real quick.
I don't know if I specifically stated, but I kind of hinted at that. My favorite scene was Luthen just escaping the tractor beam and his whole escape from that the cruiser. And the character nod goes to Luthen too, just because his tool belt has gotten, I don't know, he's shown us what's in his tool belt, and we're getting a lot more depth with him with Saw, and I don't know, before he's gone, because I don't think he's gonna last too long. I really think his story is becoming super cool, and he draws me back. Like, I really want him to be on screen a lot. I hope for him. And then so yeah, there's my scene and character. And then Diego Luna for the performance for that last scene. And then I don't know if you went with it too, but the let's call it war, the Saw Gerrera line.
That is the line I'll be going with. It was it was too well delivered.
Yeah.
It was a very, very, so I'll give a rundown of mine now too. My character is going to be B2 Emo. He was too fucking good this episode. I love that little guy. He was a fucking cutie. He made, frankly, the emotional resonance of this episode, besides Cassian there at the end, was from B2 Emo for me. Like, every time he was like, but Marva, I want to be with Marva. Like, fucking A, you little shit. You're making me cry. Performance-wise, yes, I will also go with Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, specifically for that last scene, which will get my favorite scene nod as well.
There you go.
Yeah, it was just, when I was watching it, I was just, that's when I texted you while it was happening. God damn, man. Like I went, God damn, man, this show is it's just different. And
oh wow,
me,
you know what I just realized is that we have one episode below an 8 in Andor. We have 1, 2, 3 8s in House of the Dragon.
looky there.
That's
Looky
interesting.
there. That is interesting.
We are Star Wars fans, yes. And I guess enjoyment was some ways high with House of Dragon. I don't know. That's okay. The genre. That's where Andor has been fucking nailing it like every week. They know what show they're making.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This episode, I don't think, like, that's the thing is we were kind of talking as like, how can you really hate on the show? But like, I don't think this isn't like the strongest episode of the season.
No,
like,
far,
and that's
far
the thing.
from
like,
it was damn good, but like it's definitely not the strongest episode of the season or anything. It was really well performed, and it was the soundtrack was incredible.
I think we got the gold standard last episode. The final episodes of the arcs, like the Eye and No or One Way Out, I think are like the two gold standards of the show, and then Reckoning can also be kind of like the early kind of the arc,
the contender.
Finale. But yeah, I think I don't know this.
This episode is going to do pretty well on our rating.
Yeah,
I think it won't be topping the charts or anything, but it'll be good. So let's start with our enjoyment rating out of 10. Where are you sitting on this one? I know I cried a couple times.
Yeah,
I know I'm left in a place where I'm really, really enjoying it, but I think I'm pretty fucking high on this one. I think a 9.75.
I mean, I cried, I laughed, it more of like a laugh out of just pure joy.
Yeah. We got that.
I'm trying to find a moment in the episode where I was like, man, I really don't like what I'm watching right now, or I'm really not interested at all in what's going on.
No, yeah, I don't think the episode loses steam necessarily, but there are moments. I think that we've had better conversations between Clea and Vel. I think we had that one conversation earlier in the show that was like a more riveting conversation between them. I think that Mon and Vel's conversation was cool, but and it was a very important part of the episode, and I really dug it. But I don't think it's.
I think 9.75 is too high for this one. The Axe Forgets was a 9.75. This one, it was. I don't know. I think there were very high, like the Luthen scene was very high peak, but then everything else, it was good, but it wasn't like I'm stimulated like the whole time, like sort of enjoyment. But it was like the emotional resonance was there definitely with Cassian and Marva, that whole storyline, definitely 100%. But then whenever you go off into Narc and all of them, it's kind of like, okay, like I kind of.
That's true. Surreal's storyline this episode, I didn't give a fucking shit about.
And
then could have left that.
I guess Mon's, that scene was great, and it was brief enough to where it didn't fully take you out, and it got you emotional too, just seeing Mon like that.
So we're
9.75 being too high. I mean, like literally 9 or 9.25, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying 8 or going down that low, but
I'm cool. I'm cool with a 9.25 because I know we gave episode 4 Aldani a 9, and okay,
better than that.
Maybe it's right about there. Yeah, I'll take a.
What happened to episode 4?
That's when we're introduced to Vel. That's when he's getting acquainted with the rebels.
Okay.
We also see Luthen go off and do his own thing. That's when we're first introduced to Mon Mothma in this show.
This episode was better.
Yeah, I think
just a little bit. I think the 9.25. I think I like that bump.
I think so as well. And then genre-wise, this episode is a pretty great spy one, given the spy thriller Star Warsy shit. and
They
even
set
more so on the
everything
Star Wars.
up perfectly here. Like,
Yes, they did. They did. I think
everyone's running to Ferrix, and the suspense is just it's the theme that plays just like that like slow. I don't know. It's just so.
they always get you hyped for the next one with that exiting note.
Man, yeah, I don't know how to explain the score of this show, but man, it's so good.
So good.
I'd say I'm not like at a 10. I don't think.
No, I'm not either. I was thinking even probably roughly the same. 9.25, 9.5 though. Maybe not.
Because I mean, shit, we got a sick ass ship scene with Luthen, which was
well,
really,
and that was
really cool.
Like the suspense that was building there.
Yeah.
Like I was genuinely concerned. Like, oh no, is Luthen about to get caught by Imperials? And obviously he does away with them rather easily. But
I think I'm right around there. Let's see. I mean, you have like the spy stuff with Bix still was really, really good. Just the suspense building of Marva's death, just in general, what that's causing around Ferrix, all these parties that are involved that don't know it yet. Just slowly building. Like, oh, dude, yeah, they're doing
a good job.
I'd say,
I think a 9.25.
Yeah. I think I'm there too.
And lastly, critically, I'm sitting pretty at about a 9. I thought the visuals were fucking incredible. The performances were astounding. The dialogue was, as always, hitting. It was a good one. It was a really, really good one. It was not the strongest episode of the show, but it certainly wasn't the weakest.
Yeah. I like it. I like that. It averages it around to like a 9.2, a 9.17 exactly, but a little bit better than the first episode. I like, but a little bit worse than Narkina 5 and the announcement, like episodes 7 and 8. Which I think makes sense too. A little bit better than Aldani. Yeah, okay, no, I think this worked out well. Because that's I don't know, it wasn't last episode. Like last episode was holy fuck. I came off of that like I watched that immediately again. But that's the thing. I watched this episode back to back. Yeah, 2 a.m. I watched it twice.
I watched it twice back to back as well. But it was from a different place. Like there's a different level that One Way Out was giving you. One Way Out was more, I just want to experience that again. This episode was, I need to watch that again just to be able to talk about it. I need to be able to rehash that. It was more a place of need to rewatch for this one, as opposed last episode was a want to rewatch. With that concludes this episode of the Andor After Party. It came to a 92%, and yet again, we have one episode left in a television show. Man.
Any last minute predictions you got? I already put in that Cassian maybe goes back to the other prisons and frees him. I think that's maybe more down the line, not last episode sort of thing. But I think
we're linking up on Ferrix. Like this is
it's going down on Ferrix.
It's all culminating at Ferrix next week, dude. I think that's I think I'm comfortable making that prediction. I'm real fucking excited for it too. Like plus that'll be our last episode of singular Star Wars television coverage.
This is true.
Yeah, we've done the Mandalorian rewatch. We've done the Bad Batch bitches. We did the Council of Kenobi. We did the Sarlacc Soundwave. Now we're doing the Andor After Party, and there will be no more. We will obviously still cover new Star Wars. We're not fucking insane. We love talking about Star Wars, but we will no longer be dedicating entire weekly shows to the television shows. Instead, we're going to have a larger umbrella show for Star Wars. We're still coming to a conclusion on a name. We got a few options on the table. The Bloom Batch, Star Wars, A Bloom Hope. We got a few options on the table. So come next year, and maybe even later this year with new comic book releases or new book releases. It's going to be kind of a show where we dedicate just it to new Star Wars in general. You know, when Bad Batch and The Mandalorian start overlapping in early 2023 later on, you know, we don't want to have to do two separate shows for a week. You know, we're doing the Game of Thrones rewatch. We're going to be doing the comic book project. We want to be able to talk about Star Wars, but we don't want to feel the obligation to have to go scene by scene. Oh, we're going deep for this one. No, we'll just talk about the episodes as they come out in general, like normal people. And it'll still be great conversation, still deep conversation on the episode. We just won't be taking it scene by scene necessarily. So look forward to that greatly. But we do have one left in the Andor after party, and man, I'm excited. I'm excited for that finale.
Man, it's next week. That's crazy. That's already coming to a close.
Yes, it came and it went.
It'll be interesting to see how they close it out, but keep it open for the next season.
For another season. No, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Ooh, any deaths? Who dies? Brasso? No.
Brasso's on the chopping block. I have a feeling that he could be a meaningful sacrifice that hurts us.
Bix, you think?
I think Bix is safe. I think she's had her torture.
Okay.
She's had her tortured moments. But you know, there's also the perspective that's like she has nothing left to lose. She's kind of.
Think Narc could die?
I think he's safe.
There's more.
I think he's safe.
Maybe Bootlicker.
I'd be satisfied with that.
You think Bootlicker comes out, or do you think he's not even part of it?
No, I think he's stuck on Morlana.
That's true. He's on Morlana. That's right.
Yeah, I think it would be really satisfying if Cassian and Narc face off, and that is the culmination of the season. Cassian does end to him. I think that would be that'd be satisfying. But I don't know that we're necessarily going to get that.
Yeah, I was thinking about like who on the bad side could die, but that Deidre, I think like they just formed her character. Really, I don't think like they'll kill her.
She'll be sticking around.
Yeah. Maybe that one Imperial spy, that one guy that's been spying on. Maybe Senta will just pop him in the head.
Ooh, I sure hope they're safe. That's one I don't want.
Yeah. Let me throw in Perrin. Just because if I'm right, I'll be happy.
I would love for Perrin to die next week. That would be just a joy.
I think that's a good place to end it on a good note. I'm thinking of Perrin's death.
Perrin dying. That's a happy thought. But with that, we conclude this episode of the Penny Bloom podcast and the penultimate episode of the Andor After Party. If you would, head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including comic book pull lists weekly, book reviews all the time for Star Wars fans, tons of Star Wars book reviews over there, movie reviews if I'm seeing them in theaters. I'm putting a review up over there. I just saw Black Adam a couple weeks ago. I still need to upload the review I recorded for that. Hopped in my car after I saw it, opened up my fucking voice memos and just talked into it for about 15-20 minutes. So very, very good movie. I think I'm going to see Wakanda Forever again today. Might fuck around and again. We shall see. But patreon.com/CoroBloom. That's $3 a month. Super helps the podcast. Makes me very happy for the support. And I appreciate everyone over there already. If you would, while it's still here, head to Twitter and follow @PennyBloomPod. Follow on Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. I was Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And let's call it war.